It's an incredible setup here, incredible matchmaking, incredible storytelling. Oh, you had to come here. All these fighters that step in here are warriors, and I have my respect, and I'm into this game. Yeah, we'll be into this, yeah.
And we arrive here in the Maverick Center here in Salt Lake City.
Whoever's the king of Iron right here, this is going to be a great fight.
Combat fighting in its purest form, bare knuckle fighting in the city of angels.
We've got the biggest announcement in the PKFC history we're about to make, so let's make that announcement.
What's up, Knucklemania? The notorious Conor McGregor here. Ladies and gentlemen, the huge announcement that I have for you today. Conor McGregor, myself, and McGregor Sports and Entertainment is now an owner of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Welcome to the big leagues. David Feldman, baby, we did it.
He's now an owner of BKFC with us, and we're going to take this motherfucking thing all the way.
And welcome in. It's InGame Live PrimeTime on a spectacular Tuesday evening. How about that? Mixing metaphors. Scott Wetzel, Dave Sharapan for the next 2 glorious hours as we take you right up until 10 p.m. Eastern Time as we try and win a couple of shekels with the boys in Vegas. Full slate of baseball games. Well, actually, I probably shouldn't say this since we have a couple of rainouts already. Got baseball. We got the Olympics. We'll recap from what happened today and then what's going to happen tomorrow. We're going to turn a $1 bettor into a 1.2 millionaire, believe it or not. And I am woman, hear me roar. Where is Helen ready when you need her? We'll get to it all, including my partner in crime here with the Oakland A's outfit. Very nice little Joe Rudy, Sal Bando stuff there. Well, that's not really classic Oakland A's there.
Why do you always go to the guys that nobody knows? I mean, you could have went like Carney Lansford, Walt Weiss, like Canseco McGuire when they were the Bash Brothers, banging forearms and all that other stuff. Could have done that. Yeah, we got a lot of games going on. We got a games in rain delay, but we got games coming up. I mean, there's a battle with Texas coming up right now. Astros, Rangers with a huge win last night. Walk off late. I mean, that was crazy. Big favorite today, Valdez, and it's not really a big favorite. I'm surprised it's not a bigger favorite, but the Astros are struggling a little bit right now. You got any quick thoughts on this one?
Yeah, Astros and Rangers, both, especially Texas. They really kind of like limped into the All-Star break and then out of it. They didn't do too well and felt like they really turned things around before the break. But then it's going back to that 500 type of situation, where at least Houston's kind of holding its head above water a little bit better. But as you mentioned, Texas did win last night, so good win for them. Let me check my Rangers and Astros number. Oh, yeah, Tyler Mahle pitching for the Texas Rangers tonight. Both strong unders, right? Monster under teams, both of them. Houston, 20 more unders than overs. Texas, 7 more unders. Although I will say Texas is on a nice fat over run, 9-1 over, even though last night's game did go under. So 12-7. Here you go. Astros have won Valdez's last 7 starts. 12-7 on the season are the Astros when he pitches. Now, he doesn't get the win, but all the time. But last 7 starts, Houston has won. That's good enough for me.
Love using that stat. By the time we get to August, you really got to find 1 or 2 things that kind of, give you that warm and fuzzy feeling when you go to make a wager. Record in starts. Not necessarily the starter's record, just like you said, but does the team win when he starts a game? Yes or no? So I like that. My lean is definitely to the Astros in this one.
Yeah. Got a couple games starting here in a little bit. My Bo Sox, nice win last night
Wow.
I must have been the luck I brought them going to a game and see against Seattle on last Wednesday. So Red Sox win and put 9 runs on the board. Brian Bayo pitching against Seth Lugo, halfway decent pitching matchup. Red Sox only a plus 110 underdog. Kansas City minus 130. I thought they'd be a little bit more than that, Kansas City, since they're pretty good at home. But the Red Sox play their best ball on the road, so it's really a pretty good match. This is really, on paper, Boston and Kansas City is a good matchup. Good road team versus a great home team.
Yeah, it turned out to be a good matchup, or at least looked like a good matchup before yesterday. And then the Red Sox got a couple clutch hits, scored a bunch of runs. And my streak I was on a streak. That's why you were gone. Whatever I wore won. And I went on yesterday on Game Time Decisions. Kaufman was on. He's a Boston guy. And he's like, are you trying to make me mad wearing the Kansas City stuff? You should be betting the Red Sox. And I said, no, I wore the baby blue Royals, the old school Royals logo hat. And I really thought the Royals were the side. I am thinking the Royals are the side again tonight, especially because Lugo's starting. But are you aware how good your Red Sox team is hitting? Like offensively, this team is the best in the league at, I forget what it was, offensive runs, something. There was some stat that the stat guys like to throw out there. And I was like, wow. So the Red Sox are prone to scoring big numbers and covering up for that pitching, which feels like it's leaking between you and I.
Yeah, you know what the problem is? I've watched a ton of Red Sox games this year, but, you don't really notice it until you sit down and you watch inning 1 through inning 9. And who really has time to do that, right? You're flipping all the channels, making all your bets and this, that, what have you. So I didn't quite realize they've got a gazillion left-handed batters.
Yep.
And, well, that's really not that big a deal. And in fact, in a lot of cases, you'd love that, right? Because there's quite a few more right-handed pitchers. But they're not built well, Dave. They really aren't, in that a bunch of left-handed batters, but they play at Fenway Park, which has the short left field wall.
Right.
They don't hit that many home runs. They're a singles, doubles at best team, but so they try and steal bases, but then they got a gazillion strikeouts. They're like the second or third worst strikeout team in baseball. So if you're hitting home runs, you could deal with the strikeouts, but they don't. So it's kind of... They got a bunch of lefties at Fenway Park, and then there are a bunch of singles hitters that strike out a lot. It's a weird... I'm surprised they're doing as well as they are.
One of the best left hitters of our generation was Wade Boggs, and he played a lot of games in Boston, was left-handed. He just went the other way and hit the ball off the fence, off the wall. It works out good when they do that. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, they're not going away anytime soon, but, I mean, speaking of lefties, did you see the total in the Cubs and Twins game today?
6.5, huh?
So, last night it was 5.5, which is a hockey total. You know this from doing this show with me and betting for a zillion years like you have. Somebody asked me the lowest total that I ever put up in the book, and it was 6. DeGrom and Kershaw, I believe, were pitching. Put up 6. We took nothing but under bets, and the game went under 2-1 final. Imanaga and wait a second. I'm going to make sure because it's Imanaga and Lopez, not Koufax and Warren Spahn, right? Like 6.
Right.
All that being said, the wind better be blowing really hard, way in. I don't know if I want to bet over. I don't know. The wind at Wrigley is different.
It's weird. It's weird. I never bought into that. Like, who cares if the wind, right? You still got to hit the ball or whatever. But it does. Boy, it is a fact in Chicago. I haven't lived there a number of years. That wind is blowing in. It is tough to get hits. Wind is blowing out. It is tough to get outs. So I would go with the over. You saw that stat there. I love that 16-5 the Cubs are at Imanaga starts. Meanwhile, here's one for you. Twinkies 2-8 in Lopez's last 10 starts as an underdog.
Oh, my.
So this guy doesn't come up big as they are tonight in those spots. He got an ERA of over 4.5, too. At 6, I don't care if Imanaga throws a shutout. The Cubs could maybe score 7 runs or at least get 6 for the push.
The price is fair for Imanaga. and them winning 16 out of the 21 starts is a really good, again, number, something to go off of. I can't wait to watch this for the next 2 hours with you here on the show with Vinny behind the scenes, making sure we look good, sound good, all that other stuff. I can't wait to see where the in-game number goes. I mean, if we get through the first inning, second inning, what are we going to be at, 4.5 in the second inning?
Yeah.
And then 3.5 in the third? Like, this is going to be a fascinating watch the rest of the way. So if you took a position under 6, you might be able to go over 2.5 by like the fourth inning if there's no run scored.
Yeah. We had a game this weekend. Seattle and who was Seattle playing? I forget who.
Philadelphia.
Started out at 7. Philadelphia. Right. Bingo. All right. Started out at 7. It's 1-0, bottom of the fourth, and they were still giving you 5.5. 5.5 for a game that's 1-0 that started out at 7, right? Pound the under, right? And then they got bad line. Philly scored 5 times at the top of the 8th inning. Game ends 6-0. He goes over the 5.5. You tell me they don't know, Dave. You tell me they don't know. They know. Oh, they know.
No, nothing.
Olympic talk coming up next.
Recently, I feel like I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not making bad swings. I don't feel like I'm making terrible decisions, and just had got a little bit of a streak of bad luck on par 5s. Didn't birdie any of them at the Open, didn't birdie any of them today. It's just, and I didn't feel like I did anything terribly wrong, right? But that's just golf. It happens. What's done is done, and this week is the most important week of the year right now.
He lands it pin high, he's going to be off over the pin position and leave himself a tough putt there. That should bite now. He didn't like it by the looks of it, but he'll love it when he sees it.
Just get this before that bunker. Put himself in a good position.
Just a tiny little baby fade, ideally placed to tie the lead at 16.
OMG, what a championship Sunday we just witnessed.
Right, selfishly, you always want to get that done, but you don't want to see a teammate and a good friend missing a putt for that happening for me.
The Live Golf League delivers every single event, doesn't it? I mean, what an incredible finish there. You know what, Tyrrell Houghton, I feel for him. He's been playing beautiful golf. In fact, since Miami, he's been the best player in our league based on the strokes gained metric.
I'm really happy that I had my first Live Golf win. Now that Kelly and the kids are watching, just knowing that I'm bringing the trophy home for them, it feels weird to say that it's coming home.
All right, welcome back. In-game live, prime time here on the grid. Scott Wetzel and Dave Sharapan until 10 p.m. Eastern time. We got baseball stuff going on. We're going to turn a $1 bettor into a millionaire tonight, if you've been following along. And we got, obviously, Olympic action and same-game parlays and black clouds, by the way, as well. Olympic action today, Dave. Start with a little Team USA men's basketball. I thought they would come out flying today. You know, they kind of poo-pooed the first few games of these Olympics. Now they get into an elimination game. Now they take it seriously. In a game in which they led after the first quarter, which was big because Joe Madden and I were talking about betting. You could have bet a first quarter Team USA wins and lower the odds down to 9-1. I think they were like 18-1 regularly. So, they see that they win 122-87. They win by 35. They cover the spread. Big day for Kevin Durant, becomes the all-time scorer in Olympic history, including women. No big deal. And Embiid had a big day. Listen, barring something crazy, right? I mean, there's just no way the men are going to lose, or the women for that matter, right?
No. I was just talking about it with Walsh on Game Time Decisions. It was minus 400 to USA to win the men's gold before the tournament. It's minus 600 or minus 650. You could find worse things to lay that on. They're going to win. Now, you can't really roll it over with the money lines because some books don't even offer money lines. There were 27-point favorites today, close. First game they covered was today. As the stakes get closer to the end, they're probably going to blow out the teams more. I mean, it is still the best team with the best players, and the women have even a bigger disparity. As good as the men are, they're better than every single other team by a lot. So I can tell you this. I was down, hopping around a couple books today. There's a big, bettors convention in town this week, the Bet Bash, that a lot of guys are making their way here for. So went to meet a guy about a thing and did all this stuff. And the game was on the big screen. There wasn't a person watching it. They were more concerned with the horse racing. Oh, yeah. I mean, the regular grinders in the book grinding away on a Tuesday, they're not laying 27 and they're not taking 27 in that spot. So I don't know. We'll have Gil on later. Big Gil. I'm going to call him Big G if he lets me, but he's going to come on and talk about Olympic basketball. So, hopefully he can clue us in to maybe if somebody can challenge them, because Canada lost today to France. They were a big favorite. Serbia had a big lead against Australia. Looked like they were going to cover. Did not. There's the final right there. Good job, boys. 95-90. Germany beat Greece pretty handily today. That might be the silver medal team right there. Germany.
Right. 6-1. You said it. Like I follow this offshore site, and at the beginning, USA, the men weren't as you're right. The women were actually like 18-1, and I put $25 on it. So, but the men were like 9-1. So it was even high. Like here at FanDuel, I guess it was 4-1. If that's what Kevin saw, I didn't even bother looking. I was going to bet the men, but I was not going to bet the men because I'll lay the bigger odds with the women because there's no way the women are losing. The men, who knows? But I'm surprised they're only 6-1. Long story short, I mean they're not going to lose, right? I mean maybe a close game or something stupid, but they're not going to actually lose.
If they lose, it'll be bigger than the USA upset in 1980 when they beat the Russians in hockey. It will be it will be if somebody beat the USA. Here's the next game. I mean, is this for real? 26.5, 157.5 in the women's side. Like, I would rather lay it with the points there. They're going to win, most likely cover, right? I don't know. There's certain things that you like. As the book, you just know you can't win. Like, well, I don't even know what to make the number.
That's why I'm surprised that they're giving you 6-1. I mean, you got to win 2 games. But if they're a 16.5-point favorite against Serbia and the money line is minus 20-1, what do you think they're going to be for the finals? Pretty close to that, right? If it's Germany, you think Germany offers up the biggest competition if Germany wins their semifinal match against France? Yes. I mean, they're still going to be a double-digit favorite, right? So would a 20-1 and we'll say a 15-1, if you put those in a parlay, which is what we're betting here for Team USA to win, right? Would that be 6-1? Is that how they come up with 6-1?
That's how you price. That's how you price those things out. When you're working in a book, you kind of, do the futures parlay, put it together, come up with the price, and take some vig out and put it up. So I don't know. I mean, that's the. You take the chance that if somebody plays in that game and gets hurt, for one of the teams, it changes what the line would be in the second game. So that's why you play the future price that you do, or you take the risk in playing the future price that you do. Either way, they're not losing. We could talk about it all you want. They're not losing.
Yeah. Women's soccer won today, 1-0 extra time win over Germany. So they moved to the gold medal game. Good job by the ladies there. They second straight game, they needed a late goal, but who cares as long as they win, right? So they moved on. We got Americans Gabby Thomas and Brittany Brown finishing gold and bronze in the women's 200-meter final. Dare I even bring up the fact the women's Algeria boxer, the woman who I really feel sorry for. I really do. And I'm generally pretty conservative about this stuff. But she won today, so she advances to the gold medal game.
Okay.
Listen, she's a freak of nature, but she's a female. She was born female. I mean, she may have some men chromosomes, but that's like punishing. I was going to say LeBron, but I hate using him. That's like punishing Kevin Durant because Kevin Durant is 7 feet and can shoot 3-pointers. Well, most Americans don't do that. You can't, at 7 feet, you can't, so he's too good. He's a freak of nature, so he's not allowed to play in the NBA. No, that's how she was born, right? I mean, it's just not a transgender thing. I don't get it.
I haven't watched any of it. I'm the least qualified
I'm
person
batting through with 10 seconds left, right?
I haven't watched a thing. I haven't watched one thing. I've been focused on the baseball and everything else.
Yeah, it's best. But I do. I feel bad for her, because it is what it is. All right, Olympics scheduled for tomorrow, then back to baseball as well.
Recently, I feel like I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not making bad swings. I don't feel like I'm making terrible decisions, and just had got a little bit of a streak of bad luck on par fives. Didn't birdie any of them at the Open, didn't birdie any of them today. It's just, and I didn't feel like I did anything terribly wrong, right? But that's just golf. It happens. What's done is done, and this week is the most important week of the year right now.
He lands it pin high, he's going to be off over the pin position and leave himself a tough putt there. That should bite now. He didn't like it by the looks of it, but he'll love it when he sees it.
Just get this before that bunker. Put himself in a good position.
Just a tiny little baby fade, ideally placed to tie the lead at 16.
OMG, what a championship Sunday we just witnessed.
Right, selfishly, you always want to get that done, but you don't want to see a teammate and a good friend missing a putt for that happening for me.
The Live Golf League delivers every single event, doesn't it? I mean, what an incredible finish there. You know what, Tyrrell Hatton, I feel for him. He's been playing beautiful golf. In fact, since Miami, he's been the best player in our league based on the strokes gained metric.
I'm really happy that I had my first Live Golf win. Now that Kelly and the kids are watching, just knowing that I'm bringing the trophy home for them, it feels good to say that it's coming home.
Welcome back InGame Live, PrimeTime. Yeah, just going over some of the stories here from my little vacation up in Boston, which I did get a baseball, by the way. How about that? I tell you what a crazy trip this was, Dave, real quickly, right? First of all, I get seats, sit down. Right next to me is a guy, dead ringer for my son. I mean,
no
just
way.
Absolute, maybe 5 years later, my son's 22, so he may have been 27. Just beard, glasses, the whole,
Same.
just oh my God, Of course, I told my wife, I'm like, hey, look at, who does he look like? And she's like, I don't know who. Hey, who, you dope? Your son. And then she's like, oh, yeah. I mean, dead ringer, who? Anyway, yeah, so, and I got a foul ball. Worst seats in the house. You ever want to go to a ballpark one time? Fenway Park would be it, because you'll never go back again. It's the worst place in the world to go see a baseball game. 35,000 seats, and you got about 5,000 good seats. All the others suck. They're just awful, especially for a day game. So, yeah.
I took my daughters to Fenway. We did the ballpark tour. We had a great experience. We had a rain delay, 3 hours. We had all, there you got it's tight, it's everything else, and we loved it. We also got a foul ball. Did you catch it on the fly, or did it bounce to you? How did you actually catch the fly ball before we get to the same game parlay?
All right. We're sitting on the right field side, right over first base, basically, a little bit down the right field line, which is the worst place to see a ball game. Sun's in our eyes the whole game because they built the stadium cockeyed, 125 years ago. So the ball, as I can barely see it, hits off the facade above us, ricochets down. I think it hit the guy in front of us, and then back to us. My daughter gets up, and there's the ball. There's the seat flopped up. I grabbed the ball. I was like, there you go. How about that? Got ourselves a ball.
Did you bring the ball home, or did you give it to a kid?
Oh, no. Well, no, my daughters were there. So, although the guy next to me had a cute little 6-7-year-old girl, I was like tempted, but my daughter, who's 18, she grabbed it quickly from me. I was like, that wasn't happening. No.
Is that the first time the kids or you have gotten a ball at the game?
No. For me, when I was 6, 7, 8 years old, and I still have the ball, Red Sox-Yankee doubleheader, almost a similar situation. Yeah, ball ricocheted in front of us, hit another person. I sat down thinking, okay, it's not going to come to me. It started bouncing between hands and then bounced off my face, bleeding. My 7-year-old, 6-year-old, I'm crying, right? Guy in front of me got the ball, and he gave me the ball. So, I still have it.
That's perfect. So, all right, well, that's a good story. You better get to the same game parlay before the commercial. Get this thing up. Let's go. Come on.
Right. All right, little SGP time here on the grid. All right, you know where we got to go. Let's head out west to Oakland, where we have the Oakland A's hosting the pathetic biggest waste of human flesh in baseball uniform, Chicago White Sox. So let's take advantage of their futility, shall we? We're not going to get too greedy here. We're going to grab the A's minus 210 against Chicago, just straight out win. Don't worry about laying a 1.5 since it's a parlay. We're going to go with Ross Stripling to get 3 strikeouts. His real number is 3.5, starting pitcher for the A's. We'll lower it just 1 because you hate to hit this parlay and him not get his total, but we'll throw the 3 strikeouts in there. We're going to go Oakland over 3.5 runs, which to my surprise, they allowed you to put in, despite what I was going to put in also. But Oakland over 3.5 runs, Oakland to win. Then we're going to go Brent Rooker, a home run, plus 350. And then Brent Rooker, the A's best player, 2 RBIs, plus 350. And that also, I was kind of surprised, it actually bumped it up. Not a lot, but, enough to make me put it in there. I figure if he's got to get a home run, I'll roll the dice. There's at least one runner on base. And if he hits the 2-run homer or gets 2 RBIs, I'll roll the dice. The A's get at least 2 more runs. So they're all really kind of correlated, right? I always complain about that. But FanDuel anyway gave me halfway decent odds over 7-1. So A's, Stripling 3 strikeouts, Rooker a big game, over 3.5 runs. What do you think?
Well, I mean, I think I used the line with Walsh that every book on planet Earth and Mars and the Moon will need the White Sox tonight. So this makes no surprise at all that Oakland is on there. The Rooker thing may get you. What if he hits a solo shot? What if he hits a solo shot and we don't get the 2 RBIs? I'm going to be worried about that. That the streak's going to end. We'll prove the power of the black cloud and everything else tonight with this A's.
Yes.
We'll see.
Tonight's going to be the test of all tests. I'll explain when we come back. Also, Olympic talk coming up next.
Recently, I feel like I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not making bad swings. I don't feel like I'm making terrible decisions, and just had got a little bit of a streak of bad luck on par fives. Didn't birdie any of them at the Open, didn't birdie any of them today. It's just, and I didn't feel like I did anything terribly wrong, right? But that's just golf. It happens. What's done is done, and this week is the most important week of the year right now.
He lands it pin high, he's going to be off over the pin position and leave himself a tough putt there. That should bite now. He didn't like it by the looks of it, but he'll love it when he sees it.
Just get this before that bunker. Put himself in a good position.
Just a tiny little baby fade, ideally placed to tie the lead at 16.
OMG, what a championship Sunday we just witnessed.
Win, right? Selfishly, you always want to get that done, but you don't want to see a teammate and a good friend missing a putt for that happening for me.
The Live Golf League delivers every single event, doesn't it? I mean, what an incredible finish there. You know what, Tyrrell Hatton, I feel for him. He's been playing beautiful golf. In fact, since Miami, he's been the best player in our league based on the strokes gained metric.
I'm really happy that I had my first Live Golf win. Now that Kelly and the kids are watching, just knowing that I'm bringing the trophy home for them, it feels good to say that it's coming home.
Welcome back, InGame Live, Prime Time here on the grid. Scott Wetzel and Dave Sharapan for another hour and a half or so, taking to 10 p.m. Eastern Time, looking at baseball and obviously the Olympic action, all done for today. But did have some decent moments today, including our men's basketball team. I say our team, USA, even though we're in many countries here in SportsGrid. Easy wins. Let's bring in Gilbert McGregor from Sporting News, old stomping grounds of mine, joining us to talk a little Olympic basketball. What's going on, Gilbert, Scott, and Dave? How are you tonight?
Scott, Dave, I'm doing well. Got a good day of basketball under our belts and looking forward to doing it again for the rest of the week.
Love it. Listen, I'm going to call you Big G because last time we were together here, you told me you're 6'4". So I'm just going to throw you the ball, let you either step back and hit a three, take it to the hoop, whatever you want to do. The USA looked the best they've looked today. They covered, big number, win by 35. It's the first game they covered. Wetzel and I were just discussing this. There's zero chance that they're losing a basketball game, right? I mean, it's only a matter of by how much they're going to win by, right?
You know, you never say never, but the way they look today, they certainly look primed to get the job done. They came to Paris with one thing on their mind, and it was gold, and anything less would be a failure. And you can tell that that's what's on their minds now. It makes sense that it took them this time to kind of round into shape. You know, you had those 5 exhibition games, you had those 3 games in group play, but now the stakes are super high. They've had an opportunity to learn each other, and it makes sense that they have figured each other out and gotten this good at this point in time. Now, to be fair, Brazil is a good team, but they are the worst team of all the teams that made the quarterfinals. So this team did take care of business. They're in for a huge test when they take on Nikola Jokic and Serbia on Thursday. But, you know, and it always gets harder as you go on, but they certainly look ready for whatever comes their way.
You know what concerns me, Gilbert, is that they keep on screwing around with the lineup. Like, Jason Tatum doesn't start the one game, doesn't play, forget about start, doesn't play the one game, then he's thrown in there, this, that, and what have you, and now he's back on the bench today. You know, listen, you could probably come up with any 5 and still maybe win the gold medal, but are you a little surprised or concerned maybe that they haven't figured out, okay, this is our 5, these are the guys that are coming off the bench by now. We're talking about the semifinals now. And they're still screwing around.
It's interesting because Steve Kerr pointed it out, and he talked about the different starting lineups that the Dream Team went with in 1992, which was so long ago. We don't necessarily think about that, but that team was just so much better than everybody else. They could afford to do that. And now you talk about Serbia and the looming threat of Germany or France, whoever you play, whether it's for a gold medal or for the bronze medal, you can't really if around against those teams. So, yeah, I'm a little concerned about that. The fact there's no continuity. I think that they're going to stick with what they're doing now. I know he said that a lot of it's matchup dependent, but ultimately, are you going to adjust to what they're doing? Or are you going to force them to adjust to what you're doing? And ultimately, we're the number one team in the world. You're the United States of America. You're supposed to be the standard. So hopefully that's what they do for these last two games.
It's crazy because on the other side, you had Greece playing Germany. And Germany ended up being closing on about an 8-point favorite. And you had Canada as an 8-point favorite lose to France. And it was kind of understood or assumed or bet by a lot of people that Canada would be the team playing the U.S. for the gold medal. Big G, it's 4. It's going to be a good game. Who's going to win that Germany-France game?
These two teams just played a few days ago, and Germany embarrassed France in front of their home fans and friends and family. So that's going to be fresh on their mind. France really impressed me with their effort against Canada. Canada picked a bad day to have a bad day, but France certainly took advantage. You had guys like Evan Fournier stepping up on a game where Victor Wembanyama didn't really do much as what we normally see him do, and Rudy Gobert barely played. France got the job done, and Canada was kind of playing catch-up all game. So it's a very good matchup. I still think that Germany is the second best team in this tournament, but France, they're playing in Paris. They have their fans behind them. It's not going to be easy to beat them for a second time in like 5 or 6 days.
How about Team USA being a -6-1 favorite? Dave and I were talking about that. I mean, it seems kind of weird. They're a 20-1 favorite to get to the finals. I mean, is whoever they face in the finals, are they going to be that much more competitive than what Serbia should be? I mean, if that be only -6-1 to win it all?
I think it's interesting. This is the third time that Team USA has played Serbia. They played in the exhibitions and they played during group play. So maybe that's probably why we've seen enough to know what to expect in that game. But there is a level of unpredictability, when you talk about facing Germany or France. There's the home crowd that France has. There's the idea that Germany won the World Cup, Basketball World Cup last year, and Dennis Schroeder, the Wagner brothers, those guys on that roster really step up and they really have the roster that can take advantage of Team USA's shortfalls when they do kind of mess around and turn the ball over and they're not making shots. So I do think there's a recipe for disaster against Germany or France, but if Team USA comes and brings their A- or A game, they should do enough to get the job done. But that's kind of a big ask against teams talented like that.
Man, I think they could get a C. They could bring their C game, and I think they're going to win. I mean, that's the way it looks. I could be wrong, but I think C's are enough to pass a grade or pass a class. It might be enough to get a gold medal. Go to the women's side. I just looked at the lines for the games. It's 8.5, 5.5, 5.5, and then the USA Nigeria game is 26.5. Are they that much better than every other team? Because if you're doing power ratings and stuff like this, it just makes it like roll the ball out and run the clock out because they're just going to blow out everybody.
They're just so talented. And it's funny because this kind of reflects what we saw on the men's side as well. We saw pretty close lines in those 3 games, and then the USA-Brazil game had just a crazy line, and Team USA covered, as we talked about. I think it's pretty similar in this one. This USA women's team is still figuring it out. They've really only been together since their All-Star game, which was July 20th. So you think about that, that's not that long ago. This is August 6th now, and that's how long they've been together. But they have Asia Wilson, they have Brianna Stewart, and they have a bunch of different players that can step up, as we saw in that Germany game, because Germany's women's team has been really good, and they were tested. They were actually trailing after the first quarter. So if there's anything that you want to look at that might be enticing about these games, is whether or not Team USA gets out to a good start. Will they have a sluggish start in this game? This is a Nigeria team that's very talented. The first African nation to ever qualify for the quarterfinals in Olympics, men's or women's teams. So this is a program that's on the up and ups, and they are a very talented team. They opened the tournament with a really big win over Australia. So don't sleep on them. I don't think that this team will take them lightly, but they are a talented team. But I do think ultimately Team USA will get the job done.
Yeah, good news, bad news. The good news is for Team USA, they beat this Nigeria team 100-46. So what could possibly be the bad news? Bad news is, Gilbert, as you probably know, they played to a 9-point victory in the 2021 Tokyo Olympics, which, amazingly enough, out of their 58-game Olympic win streak, they've won every single game except 2 by double digits, and that was one of them. So that's it. That's a pretty impressive streak. But so, I don't know, if you're going to be a betting man, are you betting on the 9-point victory or the 54-point victory?
I'm kind of leaning towards the 9-point victory. This is a very prideful Nigeria bunch. I've watched them play a little bit. I don't think that it'll be a single-digit game, but I don't think that they'll get blown out. They've been really impressive, especially on the defensive end. And I think they're well coached. So ultimately, they might be able to make up for that lack of talent with schemes and things of that nature. Maybe make the game a little bit uglier, because that'll be their chance to kind of hang around a little bit longer than we probably expect them to.
In addition to the basketball, Gil, what other Olympic moment? What's been your Olympic moment takeaway? Like, I love watching the table tennis. I saw table tennis highlights at Matt. I love it. That's my secret little guilty pleasure. What is yours, sir?
Table tennis has been awesome. Yesterday, I think about the pole vaulting world record. That was kind of the spirit of the Olympics, to see everybody kind of get behind him. And we knew he was getting gold, but they cheered him on, and it was pretty cool to see that. So that was the spirit of the Olympics to me.
Yeah. Gilbert McGregor, Sporting News. Gilbert, appreciate a couple minutes. Root on Team USA, both men's and women's, and we'll do it again soon. Appreciate a couple minutes with you.
Looking forward to it.
All right, there you go. Gilbert McGregor from the Sporting News. All right, in-game live, prime time continues here on the grid.
I'll ball.
Recently, I feel like I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not making bad swings. I don't feel like I'm making terrible decisions, and just had got a little bit of a streak of bad luck on par fives. Didn't birdie any of them at the Open, didn't birdie any of them today. It's just, and I didn't feel like I did anything terribly wrong, right? But that's just golf. It happens. What's done is done, and this week is the most important week of the year right now.
He lands it pin high, he's going to be off over the pin position and leave himself a tough putt there. That should bite now. He didn't like it by the looks of it, but he'll love it when he sees it.
Just get this before that bunker. Put himself in a good position.
Just a tiny little baby fade, ideally placed to tie the lead at 16.
OMG, what a championship Sunday we just witnessed.
Right, selfishly, you always want to get that done, but you don't want to see a teammate and a good friend missing a putt for that happening for me.
The Live Golf League delivers every single event, doesn't it? I mean, what an incredible finish there. You know what, Tyrrell Hatton, I feel for him. He's been playing beautiful golf. In fact, since Miami, he's been the best player in our league based on the strokes gained metric.
I'm really happy that I had my first Live Golf win. Now that Kelly and the kids are watching, just knowing that I'm bringing the trophy home for them, it feels good to say that it's coming home.
All right, welcome back. In-game live, prime time here on the grid. Scott Wetzel and Dave Sharapan until 10 p.m. Eastern time. Thanks again, Gilbert McGregor, for joining us. Sporting News, do a little Olympic basketball. So I'm waiting, Dave, for the Olympians to say, they need some extra time off because, going over to Paris and winning gold, in most blowout games, is going to take so much out of them that, 3 months from now, they're not completely healed and healthy. They're going to need a couple of weeks off. And I guarantee every one of these guys will probably say something along those lines. So
I don't think so.
But
I think you're overselling
you have too much
this.
faith in humankind.
Please, they're going to be fine. Your WNBA starts next week. To come
I know,
right
I missed
back.
that.
Right. So we'll get back into that. That'll be good. On your trip, did you get crazy with ideas and things? Like, did you start looking at college football yet? What is this thing about the $1 million? What are you doing right now?
You want to do the $1 million now? Okay. If you're a now listen, I know just from the outset, no one did this because you have to lay more than you actually are winning. I get that, but
okay,
what's the greatest sports axiom of all time, right? Winners bet with streaks, losers bet against streaks. If you were $1 better and you put $1 against the Chicago White Sox 3.5 or so weeks ago, and you rolled over, $1, then you're betting $2, then you're betting $4, then you're betting $8. Now, I know you have to lay 16 to win 8, and then you're going to have to lay 32 because they've been basically 2-1 underdogs. So not quite every single game. But if you've done that from the outset of this 21-game losing streak, Dave, you would have in your pocket, as of tonight, $628,736. You're laying almost 2-1 tonight to win $1.257 million as $1 better.
Yep. So, a couple things, right? The rollover method. That means you just bet $1. Whatever you win, you grab that and roll it over. Roll it over, roll it over, roll it over. So, the math doesn't quite add up because betting against the White Sox, you're laying 2-1. So when you bet $1, you win 50 cents. Now you have to take $1.50 and make that into 75 more cents, and then you have 225. So instead of 1 to 2 to 4, you have 1 to 150 to 225. So it's a little bit less, but I understand the premise. So before the numbers, because people watch the show, and they're going to go, they're going to text you or tweet you at Opposite Picks and tag me at SportsBK and go, your math's off. Wetzel's not a math guy. Wetzel is really a math guy. He's very good with the numbers. And that numbers would indicate that, yes, you would have, if in theory, $628,000, $628,736. At what point, Wetzel, during this streak, Mr. $1 gambler into 600,000, would you have taken some for your time to maybe give to the kids to get the oil changed, to get the car fixed, maybe new tires for the car or something like that? Like at 10 in a row, would you have grabbed something for your time, maybe hold back a little bit? You wouldn't have rolled it over this many times, right?
Right. Yeah, you wouldn't. No one realistically would, right? But if you did, I probably would have hopped out. If you use this scenario and you really did bet, okay, I won $1, so now tomorrow I got to bet $4 to win 2, and $8 to win 4, like you said. That's if we really did do that, I'd probably have hopped out $128. I don't know if I'd be willing to lay $250 to win another $128. Under this scenario, I think I would have stopped there to tell you the truth. Although now, once you go from 1 to 10, it's like once you go from 10 to 15, that's when you're starting to make some real money, and then obviously after that.
So in the life that I've lived, we did this, and I'll tell you about that in a second. But at some point, you got to take the money. You have to take some, but you have to bet the streak all the way to the end. And
yes.
I totally understand. I mean, we're going to start printing T-shirts. Winners bet with streaks, losers bet against streaks. It might be a little bit long. We might have to get the print small, but I think we can start moving those things. We can move some merch. I really believe that because that is a great thing. I know guys that bet every time a team wins 3 in a row, they bet the 4th game for them to get a 4-game winning streak. And if they win that, they bet the 5th game and try to get a 7-game streak. An old bookie told me this years ago, and it was confirmed after I moved to Vegas, and I watched guys do it. They just bet baseball season, and they just bet the streaks, hoping to get to 7. You're up 4 units if you bet 4, 5, 6, and 7. After that, it was a gamble. Betting against the losing streak, same thing. Get us to 7 and we're good. Getting to 21, unbelievable. I feel like we were standing on the side of a craps table, that we started watching people hoot and holler after they hit 8 or 9 points in a row. And you're sitting there going, man, everybody's high-fiving, complete strangers are having fun. There's nothing better in a casino than a hot craps table. But as soon as you go to bet the pass line, because they've hit 12 points in a row, bam, 7 out. And you're the guy or the reason why they lost. So the hesitation becomes after they've lost 10, 11, 12. Now do I start betting it? How many people miss this streak, right? Because this has 2 10-game winning streaks in it. If you jumped in after 10, you still have 10. It's crazy.
It's amazing, right? I mean, I said this weekend. It takes something to lose. It takes something to do anything 21 times in a row. I don't care if it's flipping a coin and coming up heads or whatever. Yep. I mean, in 21 straight games, you didn't run into one pitcher from the opposing team that just didn't have it, and you lose or they lose, or one bad call from the one blown save.
16-5 on if you bet the run line. If you laid the run line, you win 16 out of the 21 games.
Wow. They are bad.
Recently, I feel like I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not making bad swings. I don't feel like I'm making terrible decisions, and just had got a little bit of a streak of bad luck on par fives. Didn't birdie any of them at the Open, didn't birdie any of them today. It's just, and I didn't feel like I did anything terribly wrong, right? But that's just golf. It happens. What's done is done, and this week is the most important week of the year right now.
He lands it pin high, he's going to be off over the pin position and leave himself a tough putt there. That should bite now. He didn't like it by the looks of it, but he'll love it when he sees it.
Just get this before that bunker. Put himself in a good position.
Just a tiny little baby fade, ideally placed to tie the lead at 16.
OMG, what a championship Sunday we just witnessed.
Right, selfishly, you always want to get that done, but you don't want to see a teammate and a good friend missing a putt for that happening for me.
The Live Golf League delivers every single event, doesn't it? I mean, what an incredible finish there. You know what, Tyrrell Hatton, I feel for him. He's been playing beautiful golf. In fact, since Miami, he's been the best player in our league based on the strokes gained metric.
I'm really happy that I had my first Live Golf win. Now that Kelly and the kids are watching, just knowing that I'm bringing the trophy home for them, it feels good to say that it's coming home.
Hi, welcome back. InGame Live, Prime Time here on the grid. Closing out hour number 1 with our favorite little segment, the Black Cloud Play of the Day. I mean, listen, if you can't at this point, you LLs and LWs, loyal watchers and loyal listeners, if you can't figure out what the black cloud is today, then you haven't been paying attention, right? I mean, it's got to be the Oakland A's. I can give you all the numbers. Not only have the White Sox lost 21 straight, but they've also lost 25 out of 26. They've lost their last 53 games. 53 when the opposition scores 4 runs or more. They don't win games 6-5. You give up 4, that's it. You lose, White Sox. They're 0-6 and Jonathan Cannon's 6 road starts this year. Only 1-5 overall for him. And Oakland, believe it or not, is playing well. 17-11 their last 28 games, including last night's win. They do have a guy, Ross Stripling, that's 2-10 on the hill tonight. But other than that, by the way, the White Sox in the process of also setting the worst road record in the history of baseball with only 10 road wins, 10-48. Here's, Dave, the only caveats. And this is a big one. Yeah, this is trouble. That little offshore site that I look at from time to time, that I always tell you is little wiser to everybody else.
Yes.
FanDuel's line is -190. That offshore site lowered its line to -178.
Correct.
Take it for what it is, folks. And that site is right. Nothing's 100% in gambling. No. That site is right way more times in their goofy little line changes that stick out like a sore thumb, like that one does, than they're wrong. Yeah. Still betting Oakland, but just throw it out there.
There's people that will bet the White Sox tonight. They bet them yesterday, and they'll bet them tomorrow because the streak's going to stop. There are people that will do that. Whether they're rhombuses, parallelograms, sharp, square, I don't know. They're stubborn, okay? It happens. They're going to bet them, and they bet them for the limit at places like that. I had a group of guys that bet I told you this before, they bet the Cleveland Browns every week, and they went 0-17, 0-16. They bet them every single week because that was the week they were going to win. They took them on a money line. That was the week they were going to win. I got this, by the way, from a loyal listener. If this one loses, this is a big hat. Okay? Yeah, big hat. We're going to need a big hat to protect from all this rain if the White Sox win tonight. I mean, this will prove the black cloud exists. If you take down this losing streak tonight because you decided to use the black cloud play of the night on the Oakland Athletics at -195 on the money line, this will prove the power. Now, full disclosure, I flew up to Oakland for a game to see the Pirates play the last game that they would ever play in that Oakland A's Coliseum. Rod Stripling was the pitcher. He pitched an absolute gem against the Pittsburgh Pirates. That was his first win of the season. He's going tonight. If you're not comfortable with the side, how about the total? Under?
Under? Got to go under, right? Oakland?
Yeah,
Oakland's
I mean, that's the only way.
Team.
Yeah, but man, oh man. Speaking of under, the Twins just hit a home run. It's 4-2 in Wrigley. In the fourth.
I told you. All right. There you go. You already got your push. And more than likely, you're going to get at least one more run, even if you got it at 6.5. So chances are that game is going way, way, way over. So is that a precursor to, what's expected that is not happening?
Uh-oh.
Sometimes you have those nights, right? But I will tell you, Cincinnati threw a left-handed pitcher against Miami, and Miami is 7-31 against lefties, and Cincinnati's winning 8-2. So what was supposed to happen is happening there. So maybe not. Interesting. Okay. All right. How many people are saying to themselves, I know if I bet Oakland tonight, they're going to win? How many non-street players so far are saying, I know as soon as I bet them, Scott and Dave, they're going to lose. I just know it, right? Everybody.
Yeah.
Got to hop on
Are
board.
the producers picking the A's tonight? We need the producers pick.
Yeah, we'll get that. No producer's pick. Wow. How about that? Vacationing while on the job.
Recently, I feel like I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not making bad swings. I don't feel like I'm making terrible decisions, and just had got a little bit of a streak of bad luck on par fives. Didn't birdie any of them at the Open, didn't birdie any of them today. It's just, and I didn't feel like I did anything terribly wrong, right? But that's just golf. It happens. What's done is done, and this week is the most important week of the year right now.
He lands it pin high, he's going to be off over the pin position and leave himself a tough putt there. That should bite now. He didn't like it by the looks of it, but he'll love it when he sees it.
Just get this before that bunker. Put himself in a good position.
Just a tiny little baby fade, ideally placed to tie the lead at 16.
OMG, what a championship Sunday we just witnessed.
Selfishly, you always want to get that done, but you don't want to see a teammate and a good friend missing a putt for that happening for me.
The Live Golf League delivers every single event, doesn't it? I mean, what an incredible finish there. You know what, Tyrrell Hatton, I feel for him. He's been playing beautiful golf. In fact, since Miami, he's been the best player in our league based on the strokes gained metric.
I'm really happy that I had my first Live Golf win. Now that Kelly and the kids are watching, just knowing that I'm bringing the trophy home for them, it feels good to say that it's coming home.
Welcome back, InGame Live, PrimeTime here on the grid. Hour number 2 of our 2-hour extravaganza. Scott Wetzel, Dave Sharapan until 10 p.m. Eastern Time. We got Cam Stewart. He'll join us in about 45 minutes. We'll go over the Olympic women's golf, which starts technically tomorrow, depending on where you live. I think it's 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning tomorrow morning. So we'll get some thoughts out of him from that. Some more Olympic stuff, a little recap what happened today. But in the meantime, we got the full slate of baseball. We got the White Sox going for a record 22nd American League anyway, record 22nd straight loss as they square off against the A's here in a little while. We got a bunch of other games that are going on. Rain wiped out the Stanky game against the LA Angels. Got a couple of others, Dave, that are being affected. But Red Sox, I see, up 3-1 as they gave Kansas City a nice 1-0 lead. Looking for that over one more run, 6.5, 6 between Minnesota and the Cubbies. And what else are you taking a look at tonight?
Oh, I mean, we got it's kind of the team behind the scenes, but, the Mets have already taken a 2-0 lead against the Rockies. Yep. This Mets team won't go away. They're scoring timely runs. They're getting good pitching, enough to keep winning ball games. Went off as a, decent favorite today with Severino on the hill, closed as high as -140, -150 in places. It's already up to -320. You start to see it now, right? Like for me, I'm trying to figure out who can win a playoff series, not who's going to get the 1 or the 2 seed. Trying to figure out, and I'm starting to believe in these Mets, Wetzel. I don't necessarily want to, but just looking at it going, they can get in. I was waiting to see how Cease looked today in Pittsburgh. That game's in a rain delay. Cease was a monster, closed a monster favorite at Pittsburgh today because there's no hotter team in baseball than the Padres. What's that?
That's a system play tonight.
Dylan Cease was a system play?
Well, Pittsburgh was anti no-hitter system. Always bet against pitchers, i.e. teams, next start after a no-hitter.
He had a start. He pitched against the Dodgers. He had a start.
Ah, fudge.
He won.
See, I go on vacation and everything gets screwed up. This is not. I thought he got a no-hitter last week on vacation.
He did, but he had a start at home against L.A., and the price was low at home.
Right.
And a lot of people came on. I actually gave you credit for your systems. I was on with Dane, actually. That's what we said. I said, Dane, you know one of Wetzel's systems. I said, I got a book over here, but I can't keep track of them all. One of them is the bet against the guy that gets the no-hitter. And he won because a lot of people were watching us, and they tweeted at us and said, Cease looked pretty good. Cease looked great. This guy, for the National League Cy Young, his number has actually started to come down. A few weeks ago, he was 30-1. Last week after we did the show, he was 23-1. This is getting realistic, like as being the third horse. I mean, he's coming around. They're not even at the last turn yet, but to use a horse racing analogy, he's coming from way back, because it is Sale, it is Skeens, and damn, did Wheeler look good in Seattle on Sunday. His number came back. So I don't know. I think it's possible, but was that an alert? Did you get a beep? Did somebody score? What happened?
Yeah.
What was that?
Yeah, they're scanning for viruses on my computer. I don't know why they arbitrarily do this. Yeah. Whenever I'm on 4-letter network for some reason on that website, I must say it's kind of weird. He's allowed one run in his last 4 starts. Dylan C. You're right. I could have, and I was like 90% sure that this was his first start because I remember him. I was on vacation when he threw it. But so I figured, he couldn't have had another start. But I was like, you should check, Scott. Don't be me. So
listen, there's a lot of things happening. You had a very busy vacation. You thought you lost a car. You found a car. You missed a Dylan C start. There's a lot of things happening. It's fine. You missed the go against, so that's good. You would have lost.
That's good.
Sometimes that's like winning a 2-unit bet when you don't make a play that you would have made. You save the money, right? That's good.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, I bet against them tonight, but if he does now, they've been in a rain delay here for a good hour. Ever since we came on the air, they were in a rain delay, so hour and a half or so. Yeah. Chances are he doesn't come back and pitch, right? I played Pittsburgh. I played his under strikeout props. I went all based on something. That's gambling, right? I make a dopey bet based on false stuff, and I make my bets because I was an idiot and do my research. So
Toronto is beating Baltimore. That's probably the most surprising outcome right now.
This Orioles team is in trouble. They're not playing. They haven't played well for a good month now.
Slow down. This is the lull. This is the, are you, so what? You're a Stankies guy now?
No, but they should have a 6 or 7 game. The way the Yankees were in the tank for a good month, Baltimore should have had a 6 or 7 game lead. Instead, they let the Yankees hang around. And now we got to hear all those dopey Yankee fans here in New York talking about how great their team is. After months of telling me the team stinks, they want to fire the manager, fire the GM, get rid of the owner, dig up George, all this for a month and a half. Now all of a sudden the Yankees are the greatest thing in the world again.
Well, they're back, baby. You just saw it, minus 165 to win the division. The only other team with a really realistic number is the Orioles at plus 140, your Red Sox plus 65 to 1, and then the K's on the other two teams. The other teams are trying too. Don't forget that. The other teams are pros. Well, maybe except for the White Sox. But they still have to win games. This is all just part of the, rhythmic flow of baseball. There's ups and downs. They're a little bit of a down right now. But you think they're done? They're not done. They're making the playoffs. Everything relax.
No. Not done, but, they're under 500. Just like the Yankee streak. they've kind of duplicated that. They're under 500 over the last month and a half or so, or a month anyway.
So you don't
about
want
2 weeks
anything
into
to
the
do with their
All-Star
pennant
break.
odds, none of that stuff. You don't want to. You don't think they're going to win the pennant? No, that's it.
I tell you, I don't know who's winning the American League. Right? I mean, you could take Philadelphia or the Dodgers. You want to throw the Braves in there maybe in the National League. That's pretty much set. But we do that round robin thing with the World Series matchups.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Cleveland, but does Cleveland really have enough?
Yes. Wait.
Let's hope
look
so.
Look at the odds. Yeah. Look at that 17-1 to win the World Series. They're live to win the American League pennant too. The Cleveland Guardians. Yes. Is a really good baseball team. Third choice, fair price, right there.
But there's so many teams.
Wins.
But there's so many teams in the American League. Like the National League, no. But American League, if the way Minnesota's capable of playing, the Yanks, Orioles, I still think Houston could be a force. If Seattle ever turned things around hitting wise, I mean, there's so many in the American League.
Yeah. It's funny. You just listed all those teams. I did not hear. I mean, my earphones, everything's working good. I didn't hear you say the Red Sox.
The Red Sox?
I didn't hear you say the Red Sox.
Yeah, there are a couple players. You know who they are short of? Put Chris Sale. I still don't understand that trade. It made no sense to me. You put Chris Sale on the Red Sox, instead they gave him away for a bag of bones. The kid they traded him for is like hitting 210 in AAA. Put Sale on the Red Sox, now you got a real team.
Well, let it go. He's on the Braves, and he may win the Cy Young. Yeah, that's a tough one. Tough one.
That's real tough. I hope he does because I got him at 18-1. But you pay him more than another Dave Dombrowski. Got him. Like about a month into the season when he opened up like 4-5-0. I said, "Ooh, let me get a piece of that."
Recently, I feel like I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not making bad swings. I don't feel like I'm making terrible decisions, and just had got a little bit of a streak of bad luck on par fives. Didn't birdie any of them at the Open, didn't birdie any of them today. It's just, and I didn't feel like I did anything terribly wrong, right? But that's just golf. It happens. What's done is done, and this week is the most important week of the year right now.
He lands it pin high, he's going to be off over the pin position and leave himself a tough putt there. That should bite now. He didn't like it by the looks of it, but he'll love it when he sees it.
Just get this before that bunker. Put himself in a good position.
Just a tiny little baby fade, ideally placed to tie the lead at 16.
OMG, what a championship Sunday we just witnessed.
Right, selfishly, you always want to get that done, but you don't want to see a teammate and a good friend missing a putt for that happening for me.
The Live Golf League delivers every single event, doesn't it? I mean, what an incredible finish there. You know what, Tyrrell Hatton, I feel for him. He's been playing beautiful golf. In fact, since Miami, he's been the best player in our league based on the strokes gained metric.
I'm really happy that I had my first Live Golf win. Now that Kelly and the kids are watching, just knowing that I'm bringing the trophy home for them, it feels good to say that it's coming home.
All right, welcome back in-game live, prime time here on the grid. Scott Wetzel and Dave Sharapan. Some baseball stuff going on before we get back to maybe some Olympic stuff as well. Cincinnati does lead Miami top of the ninth, 8-2. So looks like another loss for the Marlins against a left-handed starting pitcher. 7-32 that'll be if my numbers are right. That is pretty darn bad. Wow, that is just amazing. That's as good as betting against the White Sox. Played the Nationals last night, Dave. Of course, they lost. Didn't play them today. Of course, they're winning 9-5, top of the seventh. You mentioned the Orioles there, 5-1. How about the Brewers, 9-0 over the Atlanta Braves? Kind of interesting. And
it was one of those ones. I like the Brewers today. That was one of the games I had circled and I talked about. Yeah, so that's working out good. I love when those games are cruise. I mean, like you don't even. I saw the score and said, oh, I'm not even going to check that again. So. We used to call those cigar games when you could just light a cigar. That was the term in the book. So Brewers is a cigar game if you have it. Sit there, smoke a cigar, relax.
4-2 Cubbies, still looking for that one more run, only the fifth inning. Right. Now the number was 9.5 a moment ago. They just dropped it to 8.5. You got to lay minus 160 for the over. I would be looking more towards the under myself, but things seem to have settled down just a little. 3-run homer for the Cubs. I don't know if it was 4-0 or not, but they built the lead, and then Twinkies answered with 2 to make it 4-2.
Correct. Yeah, I'm watching the game. The pop-ups are blowing all over the field. It reminds me, Vegas is one of the windiest places. I mean, Chicago's known as the Windy City, but the wind blows in Vegas, I swear. It's sunny 320 days a year. The wind's blowing, I don't know, I'd make the over-under like 299. And all the time it's blowing. We used to hit pop-ups to the kids in the wind and just watch them try to catch it like this, because you got to learn to play in the wind when you live here. So we would hit them and give them tests. The Cubs, the first baseman just went into the stands. He ran through the netting trying to catch a pop-up that looked like it was going to go to the bullpen, and it ended up in the coaching box. So it was one of those ones that went up, and then it came all the way down. He ran like 50, 100 feet just running and trying to do the loop. So this will be an entertaining watch for everyone that has over. You might have to sweat it. I don't think the final score. What a bad beat if you have over 6 and it finishes 4-2. But it was 4-2 in the fourth. That's a terrible loss.
That's a tough one. There was one of those last week. Which one was it? I forget what it was, but it was a low-scoring game. And they had like 6 in the first 2 innings, literally. It was like heading to the bottom of the second, 4-2, and the over-under was 7, and it ended up 4-2. I forget which one it was, but I was like, oh, man, that one sucks. And I didn't even have it, surprisingly enough. Astros 1-0 over the Rangers, bottom 5.
Yes.
Let me see if that's a no-hitter watch going on.
I don't think so.
Let's see.
I don't think so.
No.
Did you do any football work while you were gone? Have you started to look at anything? AFC South has me beyond perplexed. I looked at AFC South schedules, odds. We talked about it last week. There's the Colts schedule right there. Season wins, 8.5. We did Jacksonville today on a BVB, which is on later after Gabe and Cam. I cannot figure out Jacksonville's schedule. They got 2 international games back-to-back. They have almost no home games. Look at the beginning of that schedule. At Miami, Cleveland at home, at Buffalo, and at the Houston Texans. That might be 0-4, Wetzel. I don't know. So I started looking at it because this week is preseason officially starting. So, did you do anything? Did you put in any work? You got any numbers written down? What did you start looking at?
I didn't. No, I mean, I've done work, but I didn't get my Mark Lawrence preview books, unfortunately. They mailed it to a wrong address, so I was hoping to grab that and be able to look. Yeah, I was very disappointed. They mailed it to my old job. It's like, oh, man. So they sent it out again, but unfortunately I'd already left. So but I got them now. So now I'll delve into. You want to know a gauntlet? I'll tell you what. As far as schedule goes, I did notice this. Take a look at and this is a team I like. Let me just take a look at the Cleveland Browns schedule to close out the season.
Yeah.
They close out the season. with Pittsburgh on the road, Kansas City, Cincinnati on the road, Miami, and Baltimore. I mean, how are they, that is a 5-game, it's got to be the toughest 5-game gauntlet in the NFL. I mean, they better make hay at the beginning of the year.
The AFC North is tough. Look at the Steelers' schedule. See if Vincenzo can find the Steelers' schedule. You want to talk about the end of a season that's very comparable to Cleveland. All right, we got at Cincy, home against Cleveland.
Oh,
at
that's
Philly,
right. It was
at
this one.
Baltimore, Kansas City, and Cincinnati. That is no bargain either.
Yeah.
The AFC North is really going to be a competitive division. And like you said, you better make hay early because those teams are going to beat each other up late. There's a lot of questions. Are we going to have to talk to Mark about getting a double copy of the S&W Corporation? I might need the playbook because there's a lot of those things are great resources, and
yes, they are.
For the kids that don't remember, like there were magazines and things that we used to hold, look at, take notes in, different things like that. So I still like doing that. I do.
And they're tough to find in the stores.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whenever I would buy, like I ordered them through him, because I ordered the case for the guys in the podcast, but go try and find them in magazine stand. You just, I had to go to a Barnes & Noble bookstore to get, car buyer books, any kind of magazines now, forget about it. There's, outside of fantasy, you can't find them anywhere. Fantasy, there's 5 zillion books on fantasy. But
I started the Score Phone book last week while you were gone. It's very entertaining. There's a lot of good stories.
Okay.
I'm waiting to find some Wetzel stories in there. I haven't found them yet. But I ran into 2 guys that watch us on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. They said to say hello, the Shrew. They bought the book, and they said thank you for the book recommendation.
There you go. Cool. All right. More winners coming up.
Recently, I feel like I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not making bad swings. I don't feel like I'm making terrible decisions, and just had got a little bit of a streak of bad luck on par 5s. Didn't birdie any of them at the Open, didn't birdie any of them today. It's just, and I didn't feel like I did anything terribly wrong, right? But that's just golf. It happens. What's done is done, and this week is the most important week of the year right now.
He lands it pin high. He's going to be off over the pin position and leave himself a tough putt there. That should bite now. He didn't like it by the looks of it, but he'll love it when he sees it.
Just get this before that bunker. Put himself in a good position.
Just a tiny little baby fade, ideally placed to tie the lead at 16.
OMG, what a championship Sunday we just witnessed.
Right, selfishly, you always want to get that done, but you don't want to see a teammate and a good friend missing a putt for that happening for me.
The Live Golf League delivers every single event, doesn't it? I mean, what an incredible finish there. You know what, Tyrrell Hatton, I feel for him. He's been playing beautiful golf. In fact, since Miami, he's been the best player in our league based on the strokes gained metric.
I'm really happy that I had my first Live Golf win. Now that Kelly and the kids are watching, just knowing that I'm bringing the trophy home for them, it feels good to say that it's coming home.
right, welcome back. In-game live, prime time here on the grid. Scott Wetzel and Dave Sharapan do have a no-hitter watch. I wasn't going to mention it before because I went through 4, but now it's through 5 for Framber Valdez. That 1-0 Astros game, that is a no-hitter for Valdez. So top of the 6, you still got the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9, so you got 4 more, but we've had a rash of no-hitters here. So I wonder if FanDuel has offered that, because they used to offer that, Dave. Usually through 6, maybe 7 innings, they'd pop up a line there. Do you think the game's going to go into, be a no-hitter? And you get like 9-1 odds, but if some people bet that this past week, they may have lost a whole lot of money on that. So I wonder if they offer that now.
When does a no-hitter get real for you? Because I love, all I want to see is a no-hitter. 7.
Yeah.
Okay.
Into the 7th. Yeah. Although, we have a little ritual, when I used to cover games for local radio station and Stankies and stuff, and still do as far as the ritual. Every time you get a hit, or the first hit, you say there's the no-hitter. Could be the leadoff batter. You have to say, well, there's the no-hitter. So it's always there. I
get through 3 innings, and I go, okay, we're through 3 innings, no hits. Then we get through the 4th and the 5th, and I start to get a little antsy because I've never been in a no-hitter, unlike you, Jim Abbott and all these other things that I know you have, these memorabilia. I've never been in a no-hitter, and I'd love to. But that's when it gets real for me, when we get to the 6th. So you're a 7th inning guy, where you kind of stop, all right, and start to focus on it. All right, so we'll have, Vinny and Matty G and the boys let us know if Framber gets through the 6th, and then we'll keep a close eye on it. I would love to see one. That's one of the things I go to. Now I'm going to start doing that when I go with the kids. There's the no-hitter. There goes the no-hitter. Yeah. Is that what you're supposed to say? Say it again.
Yeah. There goes the no-hitter. Yeah. Yep.
They're going to be like, Daddy, why are you saying that?
Lead-off batter, whatever. You always got to make special pay homage to the first end of the game for each team. So
there's a couple really good baseball games tonight, okay,
yes,
that will go after we get off the air. But, you got to look at Phillies-Dodgers, don't you? This is a hell of a baseball game. It was a hell of a baseball game last night. The Dodgers at home. The Phillies beat them up in Philadelphia. They come out to the West Coast. They catch the Phillies at the downtime. The Phillies lose 6 in a row before Wheeler pitches a gem on Sunday. Phillies have an early lead last night. Freddie Freeman returns. Everything goes the Dodgers' way. They get a meaningless home run from Shohei in the bottom of the 8th to cover the run line. The game go over the total. It was 4-3 going into the bottom of the 8th. 7.5 was the total. It looked like it was going to be Dodgers money line and under. Shohei hits a solo shot. 5-3 final. Game goes over. Sanchez, lefty for the Phillies. Kershaw, lefty for the Dodgers, but not really Kershaw of old. What do you like in this game?
Yeah, third start of the season for the for Kershaw. Since coming back off the DL, 0-1, 5.87. They're 1-1 in the 2 games, so that's not too bad. I'm going to keep on betting against Philadelphia. For the most part, I played them last night. I thought maybe they turned things around, but they didn't, obviously. So you said it. They lost 7 of 8. They're one of our under second half season plays, and this is, the reason why. This West Coast trip, having to go to Seattle, and now the LA Dodgers. It's not easy to beat these teams, and they're basically a 500 team against better teams. Dodgers 12-2 at home, 12-2 run. Last 14 home games against winning teams, so they seem to rise to the occasion against the better teams, the Dodgers. So don't like really putting American money on Clayton Kershaw anymore. So I could understand a little flyer on Sanchez for Philadelphia.
Yeah.
But this is a good 6-1 over now for Philadelphia. This is a good, let's see an inning or two. Before I put money on Kershaw, I got to see him, get through the order one time. Otherwise, I'd be on Philadelphia.
Phillies first 5. There's your answer. You just talked yourself into it. That's the play.
That's the
because Kershaw's not going to stay around probably past the 5th, and you may get him out of there earlier. The other game is Detroit and Seattle. another good baseball game. Can't figure out either team. Both have been enigmas. You look like you want to play Castillo in this spot. We'll talk about it more after the break. But, I mean, 2-1 favorite for Seattle in this game. Crazy.
That's crazy. Can't do that, right? Seattle plays better at home, though. We'll break it down when we come back in Game Live.
Recently, I feel like I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not making bad swings. I don't feel like I'm making terrible decisions, and just had got a little bit of a streak of bad luck on par fives. Didn't birdie any of them at the Open, didn't birdie any of them today. It's just, and I didn't feel like I did anything terribly wrong, right? But that's just golf. It happens. What's done is done, and this week is the most important week of the year right now.
He lands it pin high. He's going to be off over the pin position and leave himself a tough putt there. That should bite now. He didn't like it by the looks of it, but he'll love it when he sees it.
Just get this before that bunker. Put himself in a good position.
Just a tiny little baby fade, ideally placed to tie the lead at 16.
OMG, what a championship Sunday we just witnessed.
Right, selfishly, you always want to get that done, but you don't want to see a teammate and a good friend missing a putt for that happening for me.
The Live Golf League delivers every single event, doesn't it? I mean, what an incredible finish there. You know what, Tyrrell Hatton, I feel for him. He's been playing beautiful golf. In fact, since Miami, he's been the best player in our league based on the strokes gained metric.
I'm really happy that I had my first Live Golf win. Now that Kelly and the kids are watching, just knowing that I'm bringing the trophy home for them, it feels good to say that it's coming home.
Welcome back, InGame Live, prime time here on the grid. 32 past the hour. Scott Wetzel and Dave Sharapan checking out some baseball stuff. We'll touch on the Olympics with Cam Stewart, who'll join us in about 10 minutes or so as the women's golf tournament starts tomorrow morning. So we had the men's this past week, women's turn this week, and some of the other golfing events. There you go, medal count. Pretty good job by Team USA. I'm trying to remember, Dave. Do you remember what their total was before? I thought it was in the 70s, but it couldn't have been 70. Well, maybe it was 90. I thought it was like 71, 81, 91, but they're on pace for like 130 medals here, so it had to be more than that.
Ooh. I don't remember what it was.
Remember it all?
We'll be able to find that.
I don't think it was three figures. Right? It wasn't three digits. It wasn't in the hundreds, right?
No, but it was close. It was high. The total medals.
Right.
I'm trying to remember what it was. Yeah, I don't know. I will have to. I'll reach out to somebody. I'll have that number for you tomorrow. We'll find out what it was. Yeah. But
just
I mean,
curious.
this is a blowout as far as total medals. But you expect it.
Yeah,
right?
without Russia.
The gold medal contest is pretty good. But now we're getting into a lot of the track and field events. This is where
what
the U.S. does really well.
You asked Gilbert when he was on, what's his, maybe not favorite event, but what's kind of moved you. You know what's pretty cool I watched yesterday where the women are climbing a wall, like rock climbing. And the fastest, you got to go, climb this wall that's, 20, 25 feet high, I suppose, and then you hit the bell. That's pretty cool. I like that. I tell you, there's so many events I could make gold medals in if I really wanted to. That would be easy.
You would not make a gold medal up that wall. those people, please. That wall climbing, those guys look like Spider-Man. I mean, they're going up there like that. I mean, it's crazy how fast.
It's crazy value, right?
But I mean, seriously, breakdancing. I give you a shot at breakdancing in the gold medal. I think you could get a medal.
I don't dance.
You didn't have the pop and lock and all that stuff? Come on.
Nah, I don't dance.
Could you get down on the ground and do a
my own
spin
wedding.
back in the day?
No John Travolta action. No, none of that. No breakdancing. No, disco. No, I don't dance.
See, I heard Matty G in the background say he could get a gold medal in breakdancing, and I believe it. I might make Matty G the favorite.
Probably. Yeah.
I bet that boy can move. I seen video of him playing softball. He got that, like, he probably got that quick twitch muscles and stuff. Can he do the robot? You think he could do the robot? That thing like that? No.
Did you watch it at all? Did they have it?
Listen,
I have not seen
I
that
live
yet.
in a house. You know my house. I've told you this. You've never been over. I can't wait to have you over. If you come out to Vegas, we'll bring you by, because it's like you're part of the family. I mean, like, the wife knows who you are, the kids knows who you are, and all this other stuff. The dog has never met you. I don't know. We'll see about that. The dog loves everybody.
Yeah.
But in an ocean of estrogen, that's my house. They watch everything. They love the Olympics. Like, I have to sneak off and watch baseball games. Skeens was starting on Sunday against the Diamondbacks, and they're like, the canoeing's on. I'm like, hold on. Nobody's watching canoeing right now.
Over Skeens.
I got Skeens against the Diamondbacks, and the Pirates are relevant in August. We're watching baseball. So I got told where, I could watch the baseball, and I got banished to the cave, and everybody watched the canoeing. They love the gymnastics. I mean, it's been a big deal. It's been on every second of every day in this house. And I can't say that I'm watching a lot of it, but they love it. They're watching the alternate broadcast. They're watching all this and that. My medal sport would be ping pong. I want to play the table tennis. I'm ready to go. Every 4 years I get excited about it. I'm like, man, had my path not gone to Curacao and the business and this stuff, I would have tried to be Forrest Gump. I think I would have done it. I would have tried to take a shot at being an Olympic ping pong player, without a doubt. That would have been my sport. Yeah.
I grew up with a ping pong table in our basement. Like, it was a ping pong table on top of a pool table. I was pretty good too. I was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I watched some of it. Just hitting these guys hitting it back and forth as fast as they do. It's like, wow, not to mention getting it on the table.
Right. Well, they back up. They're 10 feet from the back of the table, smacking it back and forth. I'll make myself minus 350 against you right now. If I come out to the island, if I come out to the island, I'll be minus 350. And this is sight unseen. We'll make an adjusted line after we warm up. I have to see the way you hold the paddle. I have to see the way you react to the spin. And now that you're back officiating and you're wearing the Hokas, I'm guessing your lateral movement will be good. So you'll be able to get corner to corner. I'm going to make you move. When you play against you got to move. You're not standing there just hitting it. Like, we're making you move. You're going to break into a sweat. I don't want you pulling a muscle. We need to do this. We need it. Well, I'm going to talk to MC. I'm going to talk to some people, see if we can make an Olympic-type event, maybe a decathlon, but we're not going to be doing pole vault or shot put or discus or any of that stuff. We'll play ping pong, shoot some pool, maybe play darts. What do you think? You down for that?
There you go. I'm down for that. Now, do you play tennis or table tennis? I play tennis, where if you're serving, you got to serve into the box versus having a whole court to serve.
So you're making up your own rules because you don't have to do that.
And you can't have your hand against the ball when you serve either. It's got to be like in your fingers.
100% you cannot. You have to let go of the ball. Official table tennis rules. Now, I didn't know this. So I was playing a lot at Penn State in between studying and playing hockey. And I got really good. I had a couple guys playing with them that they didn't even keep score in English. And I went to a ping pong tournament, and I did not know the official rules that you had to let go of the ball every time you serve out of your hand. It has to be out of your hand. And two, I did not know that you could not wear a white shirt to play ping pong in.
Oh,
so they made me
background.
take off my sweatshirt and said, you cannot play in that white shirt. I got 2 rounds in. I won 2 matches, and then I played against the guy who eventually won it, and he destroyed me. The spin was too much. I couldn't read the spin.
Right.
But I'm ready. I'm ready for you. Maybe me and you could be a doubles team. We play me and you versus
Cam
all
and Gabe.
comers. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
That would be
We'll take on everybody.
That would be good. Yeah.
Vinny
They
and
wouldn't be
Matty
able to
G
beat it.
could
They
be
would-
a team. Oh.
Amateurs. Yeah, amateurs.
Foster
Not
and
even too
Kofsky.
busy breakdancing.
Foster and
Even too
Kofsky
busy
would be a pretty
breakdancing.
good one.
Now Kovsky, that would be Foster, athletic, basketball guy, got agility.
Yeah.
He would be and he's tall as well, so that would be
Probably
better for
cover
him.
the table without moving his feet. Guys like that, they didn't even move their feet. They
Wingspan.
cover the table.
Yeah.
Big wingspan.
But see, doubles. I think Pat would be in trouble with doubles because he'd be stealing the other guy's ball too many times and it'd tick off his partner, so they would probably fall apart in the second set.
Do you think Cam's a good ping pong player? We're gonna have Cam on next. Do you think he can play ping pong?
I think so. It's a Canadian thing, right?
Yeah,
I would think so.
I think Cam and Gabe would be beyond entertaining. That'd be a great team.
Yeah. I think he'd be sweating so much though that we'd have a rain outer. All the water would get on on the table. Yeah.
I hope Cam's okay.
Like the pitcher's mouth.
Because the Canadian basketball team lost today, and I was thinking about them. I mean, that was a tough loss. They're a big favorite. They're supposed to win that game, and they're supposed to be playing the U.S. Can't believe it.
Yeah. That would have been a lot of fun for our network. USA versus Canada. So,
all
right, we'll get Cam's winners in golf. Yeah, coming up.
Recently, I feel like I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not making bad swings. I don't feel like I'm making terrible decisions, and just had got a little bit of a streak of bad luck on par fives. Didn't birdie any of them at the Open, didn't birdie any of them today. It's just, and I didn't feel like I did anything terribly wrong, right? But that's just golf. It happens. What's done is done, and this week is the most important week of the year right now.
He lands it pin high, he's going to be off over the pin position and leave himself a tough putt there. That should bite now. He didn't like it by the looks of it, but he'll love it when he sees it.
Just get this before that bunker. Put himself in a good position.
Just a tiny little baby fade, ideally placed to tie the lead at 16.
OMG, what a championship Sunday we just witnessed.
Right, selfishly, you always want to get that done, but you don't want to see a teammate and a good friend missing a putt for that happening for me.
The Live Golf League delivers every single event, doesn't it? I mean, what an incredible finish there. You know what, Tyrrell Hatton, I feel for him. He's been playing beautiful golf. In fact, since Miami, he's been the best player in our league based on the strokes gained metric.
I'm really happy that I had my first Live Golf win. Now that Kelly and the kids are watching, just knowing that I'm bringing the trophy home for them, it feels good to say that it's coming home.
welcome back. In-game live, prime time here on the grid. 44 past the hour. Busy day. We got a ton of baseball. We got the White Sox starting here in just a couple of seconds. We got a no-hitter watch now in the top of the seventh in Texas with the Astros no-hitting the Rangers. So we got 3 more innings to go before we can start talking about that. Maybe our third no-hitter in about a week's span. So, and obviously all the Olympic stuff. Let's bring in our guy, Cam Stewart, to talk a little Olympic golf on the women's side and many other things. What's going on, Cam? How are you tonight?
Well, Wetzel, I hear you and Dave talking during the break about table tennis and ping pong. I told you I'm the Yellowknife Northwest Territories regional champ, Dave. Scott, it's one of the only things I've done well. I know the tournament's being held in a basement, but I did take on all comers, beat a lot of people from a lot of different places. Didn't meet the Alaska. I should have gone in the Arctic Winter Games and met the representatives from Greenland and Alaska, but it's hard to get out there. We didn't have a lot of funding in our league, if you get my drift. It was, but anyway, I used to play every day.
You can play with both hands, or you can play lefty or righty?
Wetzel will tell you this. When you were a kid and you were left-handed, it was kind of like, not witchcraft, but it was very, like, the parents, like, why are you left-handed? So my mom was like, you got to do things with your right. So it actually turned out to my benefit because everything I can do, the only sport I can't do it with is golf and hockey, but everything else, like in table tennis, like racket sports, I can serve with both hands. So I go forward, backhand. So it's hard to do in hockey. And it's really hard to do in golf, but I can play with both. Like I can do both. So it really helped in table tennis. So guys, you can switch it up. If I just want to go forehand on somebody or go just do double backhands on somebody. But anyway, who cares about me? Like I sound like Al Bundy now. Ooh, look at me. I won a table tennis tournament with 16 guys in a basement. Who cares, Cameron? Get to the picks. And hopefully Scotty Scheffler's sister doesn't play in the Olympics. Both a little bit, yeah. But I'm better with my right. Scott.
But
writing I can do? Yeah, I can.
Yeah,
but
that's pretty good.
My right is my dominant hand, but it's funny. But I play golf with left, and I play hockey with left. Everything else I do right. It's really, anyway, we'll talk about it one day over a few drinks. It turned out to be like better for me because you became ambidextrous. But anyway, who cares? Let's talk golf. We got women's golf, guys, 3 o'clock in the morning. Hit the windows. Let's hit them hard. Didn't see Scotty Scheffler coming out of the weeds. Let's go. Rose Zhang, Scott. Wetzel, he's a proud American, and we're going to take one of the best American golfers in the world in Rose Zhang at 16-1. A top 10 machine in all tournaments, top 5, and playing great golf. This course is not too long. The ladies, they're going to be good. This one's going to be better than the guys because I think the chalk, a lot of these girls are going to play really, really well. Lynn Grant, as I told you, is the only lady to win a man's tournament, and I watched it. She came back and won a tournament this year from a 9 strokes down. 11 strokes, sorry, not even 9, 11 strokes down. Wow. Lynn Grant is one of my favorite ladies golfers, and she's an animal at 18-1. Now we're going to go at 25-1. Watch out for Hannah Green, another very underrated player from Australia. You know me, Dave and Scott. I watch a lot of golf everywhere. So I watch the men's, the seniors, the women's, and Hannah Green is notorious, always on the leaderboard. And Patty Tabanikit is one of the best players. She's a Taiwanese gal, 30-1, very, very solid. And she was actually one of the best women's golfers in the world, and she fell off, and now she's bringing it back. I love her price at 30-1. Scott, more red, white, and blue for you. Nelly Korda's the favorite to win this tournament at 6-1, but I'm not going to screw around. I'm just going to go minus 105 in ties. There's too many talented ladies at the top, even like Lydia Ko and whatever. This is a star-studded event, so I'll take Nelly for a minus 105 there. And I think, though, this girl is so damn good. I actually watched a profiler on Golf Channel the other day. She hits it so straight, and her putting is fantastic. One of the more underrated players on the tour. She's a top 5 lady for plus 165. Now my top 10 in ties. All my guys I have to win, ladies have to win. I'm going to take them top 10. You know, only one person wins the tournament, right, Dave? Remember? Scotty Scheffler. Yep. This is where we make our money because one person wins. Rose Zhang, top 10 in ties, plus 120. Lynn Grant, top 10 in ties. By the way, great job there, Frank Font, Gary Graphic. Excellent stuff. You got pictures of these ladies. Plus 120 for Lynn Grant, one of my favorites. We got Hannah Green, plus 165 for a top 10. And Patty Tabanikit, 2-1, plus 195 for a top 10 in ties. Those are my ladies' golf picks, and I'm riding all the picks that I have first round leader, 10 or 20 bucks per. And if we hit one of those, we'll have a lot of money going into the other stuff. So, guys, I like the ladies' golf tournament. It should be a lot of fun like the men's. And hopefully, as I said, Scotty Scheffler's daughter or sister's not there. So I feel very better about my chances. Can you believe that, Wetzel? I had John Rahm there, and he's just sitting there with a 4-shot lead and just doesn't even get a medal. I told you, like if golf was a 2 or 3 round tournament, God, I'd be having a lot more money than I do. But such is life, Dave. Dave, I don't even want to say this on air. Cut his mic. I'm thinking about tonight might be the night that they ruin it. I think the Oakland A's might lose tonight to the Chicago White Sox.
This is the night. This is what I was going to ask.
Have you seen who's pitching for the for Oakland tonight?
Yes.
Ross Stripling.
I know.
Like, this is not good. You're laying $2 with these guys, Scott. I'm going to take a chance. Ask Dave. He tried to trick me the other night. He goes, Cam, I know you're dumpster diving. No, we crushed it with the A's last night, but I'm telling you, this could be the night with the cannon. Fire the cannon with Jonathan.
Oh, my
67% chance to win. Oh, go, gambler, help me. Anyway, I'm on the Philadelphia Phillies tonight. Don't tell Gabe. Love the Phillies tonight. Got Seattle in a parlay and -1.5, and I'm taking the damn Chicago White Sox +1.5 and money line.
Okay,
wish me luck, friends. Wish me luck.
You might need it with that one, but that's
Wetzel,
good.
and you're just shaking your head at me. No, but Wetzel, I've been riding this. Ask Dave. I've been riding the Oakland A's probably harder than anybody at this network. Like they're my. Like,
so what are you jumping off for then? What are you jumping off for?
Because it's not. Dave will explain. I know he's wearing A's gear now. I'm very concerned. But I'm going to say this. This is not a time to lay 200. Like last night, you got a 160 number with a better pitcher.
Where's
better,
the black cloud?
This guy,
Where's the black cloud play of the night, boys?
Don't tell me, Wetzel. Bring in the hurricane rains and stuff.
Look what it is.
It is a black cloud, Wetzel. You're going to lay $2 with Ross Stripling? Are you on glue? Come on, man. What's the deal?
He's a pretty good pitcher. He's a former Dodger.
He's a former Blue Jay,
He's okay.
He reeks. He's got a 1.55. Take a look at his whip. Dave knows baseball. The guy's worse than
I don't know. What is whip? The last time I brought out the whip, my girlfriend left me. What is whip? What is whip? Who knows what whip is?
It's a delicious dessert topping. How do you lay $2 with these guys? I don't get it, Wetzel, and if I lose, this one's on me. Ask Dave. I've been on the A's for like 17. Like I'm always against the White Sox. Bet them live, whatever. I don't care tonight.
Great stuff.
I told you I need help. White Sox it is. But I like the Phillies a lot.
Winners bet with streaks. You know who bets?
And there's a couple weeks. I'm rolling out of here. See you again.
Recently, I feel like I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not making bad swings. I don't feel like I'm making terrible decisions, and just had got a little bit of a streak of bad luck on par fives. Didn't birdie any of them at the Open, didn't birdie any of them today. It's just, and I didn't feel like I did anything terribly wrong, right? But that's just golf. It happens. What's done is done, and this week is the most important week of the year right now.
He lands it pin high. He's going to be off over the pin position and leave himself a tough putt there. That should bite now. He didn't like it by the looks of it, but he'll love it when he sees it.
Just get this before that bunker. Put himself in a good position.
Just a tiny little baby fade, ideally placed to tie the lead at 16.
OMG, what a championship Sunday we just witnessed.
Right, selfishly, you always want to get that done, but you don't want to see a teammate and a good friend missing a putt for that happening for me.
The Live Golf League delivers every single event, doesn't it? I mean, what an incredible finish there. You know what, Tyrrell Hatton, I feel for him. He's been playing beautiful golf. In fact, since Miami, he's been the best player in our league based on the strokes gained metric.
I'm really happy that I had my first Live Golf win. Now that Kelly and the kids are watching, just knowing that I'm bringing the trophy home for them, it feels good to say that it's coming home.
welcome back. In-game live prime time. Wrapping up shop here. Again, thanks to Cam Stewart, Cam and Gabe, top of the hour. A couple storylines for the guys to follow, since obviously the Olympics are all over, as they were for us as well with baseball. No-hitter watch. Now we're talking serious no-hitter here. We're through 7. Top of the 8th. 2-0 Astros over the Rangers. And let me just see, Dave, how many pitches Valdez have. Even if he's in the game at this point. Yeah, he's still in the game. Through 7, 5 strikeouts. I think he needs 1 more to get to his strikeout total. So we have that. We have Oakland and the White Sox underway. And what was the other thing?
8 pitches. 78 pitches.
78. So he's going to get a shot.
51 strikes. Yeah, 78 pitches, 51 strikes. He's dealing.
Yeah. Wow.
So.
And then your boy Dylan Cease out of the game. That was a smart bet. Now, in the end, I didn't, count out a rain delay, but they pulled him after a 2-hour rain delay. They're back playing now, but he's out of the game. So if you bet his under strikeout total, which is our best strikeout total of the day today on the podcast, cha-ching, we got the lucky winner with that one.
Sometimes that happens too. I want to shout out T Sizzle. On the Twitter, he texted us or tweeted at us, the reason the Pirates game was delayed so long was the outfield warning track had drainage problems. So not only did it rain and rain delay, they couldn't get the warning track to drain. So I guess they had puddles, and you can't play in puddles in the big leagues. So we're back to playing baseball there. I guess we'll keep an eye on that one. I wanted to ask you before we go, you were talking about the Phillies, and they play the Dodgers tonight. They were in Seattle. They go to the Dodgers for 3. They go to the Diamondbacks for 4. The Diamondbacks got rained out tonight in Cleveland. The Diamondbacks keep finding ways to win. Jock Peterson, again, did it on Sunday in Pittsburgh. Clutch home run. Did it again yesterday. They win in extra innings. Diamondbacks are a team we might have to consider in that futures parlay thing. But the Phillies play the Dodgers 2, 4 in Arizona. How many games win the rest of the week?
3. I'll give them 3. Yeah.
Good number. I was thinking 3. I don't know if that starts tonight. I like the Phillies tonight. More against Kershaw, but I think it's 3 as well. You want to fly out? We'll go down to Arizona, watch them play. You want to do that?
Yeah. I'll do that. I would do that. I got to figure out an open spot. A lot of guys taking off here in the grid, for summertime, as I did. So we got to fill in quite a bit this month, but maybe the first week. We got to get in there. I got to get out there before the first football game. Yeah,
correct.
Week 1. So was that September 5th? I think it is. That Thursday.
Well, you could come out. You could come out Thursday or Friday. By the 6th, you can get out. Come out. We'll get you in the contest if you want to do football contest, the pro contest. We did one for BVB. It's a college football survivor contest, Big Ten only. You have to pick a Big Ten winner every week from now until the end of the season, November 30th. 14 weeks.
That's interesting.
Can you do it? Yeah. Big
That's
Ten
tough.
Survivor.
But yeah, you get those preseason basically games, but you don't want to use those up because you're going to have to count on some of those. Yeah, that's interesting.
So you want to slide a Maryland in there or Rutgers?
Yeah. Rutgers.
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 Pick against Northwestern every week. It's going to be tough.
Yeah. What do you think of Jim Harbaugh yesterday? What a goofball, right? Telling the whole world that he doesn't cheat, doesn't lie, doesn't steal, tells his teams not to do that. He denied any knowledge whatsoever of all the cheating that Michigan's done over the last couple of seasons. Like, come on, this guy is such a fraud. I mean,
he's
really,
living it up in L.A. He looks great in all the gear. He's still wearing the khakis. It doesn't really match the Charger outfits. Like he's got to get a different color, maybe get a little gray or something. I think it would work. But Jim's living it up. He looks good. Sherrod, it's going to have a lot of things going on back in Michigan this season. It'll be interesting. We'll discuss more of that tomorrow.
All right. Yep, this time tomorrow, we talking about losing 23 in a row, or does it end tonight? Do the White Sox win?
I think the A's win, but it's going to be a sweat.
Yeah,
it's going to be a
struggle tonight. Yeah, because the White Sox know, no one wants to set a record. So we'll talk about it tomorrow. Enjoy your night, folks.
See you, boys.